What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's going on, y'all? Real quick, I'm gonna get into this story. As you know, like I already did a quick introduction. First bit, I went through shock, boot camp. Instead of New York, they seem to like a boot camp to have that option. Now, in New York, they seem to like a boot camp to have that option. It's non-violent. And in my case, it was a non-violent case, and so, I was able to get home sooner. You want to see that video right before this one? I don't know. I'll figure it out how to you can see it in order or whatever. But anyway, I'm on my second bid now. And on my second bid, the second bid was surprisingly eventful. In a way, like, not a bad way. Like, it was just, I didn't have a bad experience. This is probably why I went back for a third time. I don't know. But it just wasn't a bad experience. I mean, I had some situations here and there, and we'll get into a few of them. But, it just wasn't like, it just wasn't about, I ate good, I kind of breezed through. 4 years went by rather fast. Again, I went in, for, selling drugs. It was weird because real quick, I actually went in. I see this scar right here. This scar, and then this a little bit right here. All of that happened because I had a little altercation with the police officers out on the street. We was out one night in front of a store in my town, Power Kingdom, Poughkeepsie, upstate New York. There was a few of us out there gambling, shooting dice, whatever. And at that time, I used to indulge, but I ain't gonna even make it seem like I indulged a lot. I mean, and my whole, I could count on one hand how many times I would use, what we call in my town, wet. It's another name for, dust, or I don't even know. I want to say what they would. I don't really even know what the substance is made of. I've heard it was bombing fluid and whatever, but in my town that was just like, it was rampant. Like everybody, like a few people who use that frequently. Like, I mean, to this day, that's a drug that's used. And if what I would liken it to is like the feelings of that you get from that is similar to if you smoke synthetic weed like K2. Although K2 is worse to me. I've tried that as well. I think I tried that like once or twice, and then like the one thing about me is I don't have like when it comes to certain things, I'm just not, it don't have no pull on me. Like I'll probably try it. If it's not, I have a strong will where I can just stop messing with something. Like whatever it takes, if it doesn't, if the fun's not there, I'm not doing it. I'm not hanging around. So yeah. But anyway, this particular night, I'm standing in front of the store with gambling. I'm only telling you this story because it kind of like feeds into what happened when I got in prison. Me getting into prison, whatever. So that particular, I'm standing in front of the store, we gambling, and police push up on all of us. Everybody taking off. I'm out. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog fast, Flash fast. I'm gone. I'm running as fast as I possibly can. Or so I thought. In my mind, I was out. But see, when you smoke dust, wet, your mind might be telling you that you're moving faster than you are. Truth of the matter was, I wasn't moving at no speed. It was probably just moving in very slow motion, because when I was running in my mind, I just felt a hand on my shoulder, and I looked back and I was confused because like, how the hell did you catch up to me in my mind? But then I kind of like looked around and realized I hadn't gone anywhere. I hadn't moved an inch at all. So it wasn't like this officer had to even chase me. I damn near stood still. Put his hands on me, told me to hit the wall. checking in my pocket. Now I had just got out of jail for something, maybe something drug related. Usually that's what my cases had involved, was drug related cases. And I had just got out, and it was telling. I had what was known as an ACD. I forget what it's abbreviated for, but all it basically, if you get an ACD, they basically tell you you can't get in trouble for like 6 months. Can't get in trouble for 6 months, and then they'll expunge whatever that charge was from your record. Stay out of trouble for 6 months, you good money. You don't worry about nothing. So this particular night, I want to say it was like the 5th month and the 29th day, and damn near 23rd hour. Like I was that close to getting off of this shit. And so when they pulled up, I mean, even in that state of being high, I knew that this police contact, like this situation, might get me jammed up with that ACD. You know, I would probably be facing whatever charges that I was about to, be able to walk away from scot-free. And so I was highly upset about that. So the cop tell me get on the wall, whatever. And so, like in your jeans, you got that little pocket right there. That little pocket in your jeans, I had some paraphernalia and some illegal substances in that little pocket. And I knew that. Like, I was very conscious of the fact that that's where that was. The cop started searching me, and he went into that pocket and pulled out a little Ziploc bag with some of that in it. What was in it, I was, bro, my mind was blown. Even like, again, I was high. But I knew, man, he was like, when he pulled it out of that pocket, it was like he hit the jackpot. I was so upset by this. So upset by this, man. That, we're in a standing in front of a store. That's the storefront. It's the storefront. Store. Big glass window. Think about a store. They got the big glass window to the store, whatever. I was so upset that I headbutt the store window immediately. By the time I put my head back, bro, this blood just got, it was so much blood. Like, blood was just gushing from this little hole right here, bro. With so much blood gushing down. Now, back in those days, even now, but back in those days, I was always a fly guy, bro. Like, I always dressed well. I had on some Timbs in the style of like beef and broccoli style. I forgot the name of that particular style, but I had some all yellow, or like macaroni and cheese is what they called them. It was all yellow, that style. And it was like they had just started trying new things. Timberland had just started trying new things, so these wasn't even out yet, tell you. And I just remember looking down and seeing that there was so much blood that the boots started turning like burgundy, bro. It was that much, like the whole boot was just covered in my blood. And I heard an officer who was, searching me, cuffing me behind me like, now, what you gonna go in and do that for? I said, what did I say? I say something like, why you do this to me? You know what I mean? Immediately I go into, stunting, pulling a stunt. Like, why'd you do this to me? Why'd you do this? And the officer, but in my mind, I'm saying, why are you arresting me? Not that why'd you do, why you put my head through the window. But like onlookers and people standing by was just like, yeah, why did you do that? They looking at it like it's police brutality. They not understanding why I'm saying what I'm saying. But then I just started having a whole crowd of people there saying like, yeah, why you do that? One of the bros, Takeem, was there. He was like, oh, he went crazy for me. Like, yo, why you do that to the bro? He was highly upset. You know what I'm saying? And then, it was like a crowd of people just started surrounding the police. And in my neighborhood, I am one of those people that everybody, well, in my age, my age group, like everybody knew me. Like I was a cool kid. I wasn't no super tough guy, I'm not no pushover. Just one of those cool kids. Like, everybody cool with me type of guy. I vibe. I never started no trouble. Just everybody, had a good love and respect for me. So when that happened, they was highly upset behind that. But that was crazy. And so the cop got surrounded. He got upset because he basically I was making false accusations. But by the time we got into the car, like the story ran off. Like I couldn't even stop with the perception of what really happened. Like, it was already it was understood that the police did this to me, and it was police brutality. And when I got to the station, the cop was like, he was just mad. He was just highly upset. And he was like, yo, you better recant your statement. But I think my mom came to see me, and she basically was like, everybody was like, yo, run with this. This is the story. And so it was like they was trying to get a lawyer to sue them, and all types of stuff happened after that. And I kind of used that as leverage to get, to get up out of the situation, and it worked, I believe. But that one officer was like, yo, because I don't know, I think he got reprimanded, maybe he even got in trouble, whatever the case may be. So by the time I'm getting home from my first bid, I'm home for a while, not that long at all. I'm home for a while. One day, I got right back to doing what I was doing, didn't learn nothing from the first bid. I'm walking up the street. I had just went and got me some oxtails, some rice and peas, whatever. I brought it to the crib. I'm eating it. Get a call to go bust a chop. Bust a chop means go make some money. And I go do that, and then I'm coming back to the house to finish the rest of my food. And I'm walking up the street, the block that I live on, a few blocks up. I'm walking on my block. The section on the block that I was on, it's like a one-way. You know what I'm saying? So it's on Hamilton. So at that time, it was a one-way. Now it's not. For some reason, I think they made it a two-way. But at this time, it was Hamilton. The part of Hamilton that I was on was a one-way. So when I noticed a car, driving in the wrong direction, essentially, and this happens sometimes. Sometimes people from out of town would be on that street, not knowing that it was a one-way, would be on that street driving the wrong way. You just kind of tell them, like you would make a hand gesture to let them know, listen, go, you're going the wrong way. This is a one-way, whatever. And so I started to do that, but then I see that the windows was cracked open, and I see police on the vest. And then from that, one of the officers was like, don't run, Diane. That's all I heard him say is, don't run. And as soon as he said that, I immediately took off, though. Like, what are you talking about? I'm out of here. So I run. Running. And, I'm running out. Like, say I'm walking, going toward the home. I'm turning around and start running in the opposite direction. And I run down Hamilton, heading toward like I was heading toward like an arterial, like a highway. I was heading in a different direction. I used to live by a store called Trinity. There's also an arterial that way, but I went in the opposite direction. There's two. I would explain the layout of my town, but my majority of the story is going to be of me away, so we don't have to talk about my town just yet. I'll probably come over to stage a different page or channel where we could discuss street stories too, but I really want to focus on what, this is going to be about my time away. Anywho, I run, they chase, I find myself in this backyard. I attempt to hop a fence. I'm just making it for some reason, like these guys are right behind me. And right when I went to jump over the fence didn't have any post in it. It was like it looked like it was standing stern, like standing firm. But when I grabbed it, the fence just gave way to my body weight and just flopped. And I fell forward, boom. Like, embarrassing. It was crazy. And it was right there behind me. And as soon as they caught up to me, a few kicks, a few punches. Cops don't like chasing people. So when you make them chase, some of them, especially like detectives, like It's like vets. Like as soon as they catch you, you make them chase you, they gonna fuck you up. It's like mandatory that happens. So they caught up with me, hands, feet, smacked me. I happened to turn around after I'm cuffed and getting pulled up to stand up or whatever. I turn around and I see the detective. One of the detectives that's arresting me is the detective that arrested me that night when the incident happened with this and all of that. And he's like, I told you I was gonna get you. I told you that. And it made me think that possibly, once I got locked up and I was actually about to start facing the time, I got my paperwork and all of that, I got my discovery, started seeing all the paperwork or whatever. And they were seeing colored baggies I had and all of that. I was like, I didn't even sell these colored baggies. And it's just my second bid. I always think like, yo, this wasn't even no real case. Like, I feel like this dude had a vendetta against me and set me up. You know what I mean? Like, cause it was sales. Like, they didn't have no, this time they didn't catch me with nothing on me. And like, it's to me, like, a person catching his cells is easy. All you gotta do, they can create a confidential informant, like it's confidential, and they're banking on the fact that if you're gonna go to trial or not. Because if you go to trial, now you gotta present who it is that snitched on you. You gotta like boom. But at that time, like I wasn't the time that they was trying to give me. I wasn't trying to go to trial because if you go to trial and they blow your head off, that's exactly what you're gonna feel like. That they gave you, I think it was like 10 and a half. No, hold on, what was it? 7 and the third to 20. It was crazy the time they was trying to get me on the second bid. Or that was the first offer. And so it made me think like, man, like what the hell is they talking about? So, but the cop out was too easy. Like I could do that. I could do that time. I think it was like a 2 to 4. But I still had old time from that first bid. Remember, like I had went to boot camp shop. And so I only did 6 months, maybe like 13 months off for that bid, but I still had all that other time. That first bid was a 2 to 6, so I still owed 5 years on that. So you add that 5 with the 2 to 4, which means always that last number you gotta be focused on. So 2 to 4, 5, essentially I had 9 years to do. Like if I messed up and maxed out, I would end up doing like 9 years on that. Yeah, but I ended up right back in incarcerated. I wasn't even home that long, bro. I came home 0185824 was my first DIN number. And then I came home in 02 and I was locked back up in 02. By the time I made it to reception, because I stayed in the county for a while, by the time I made it to reception, I had OTR 4535. Was my second DIN number. But I wasn't home no longer than like 2, 3, I want to say like 4 months. After that first bid, and I was up again. 4 years. I ain't come home until 06. So yeah, that happened real fast. But on that second bid, I've landed in a few spots, but one of the spots in particular was Bear Hill Correctional Facility, which is I believe in Malone, New York. And it's by like up there, it's like they got Clinton up there, they got Franklin up there, there's a few joints up there, there's a few spots up there, but I digress. There was a story I was gonna jump into, it'll come to me, but let me cut this short. I'm at work right now, so I just wanted to kind of like get a quick introduction into the second bid. And the second bid, like I said, it wasn't a harsh bid at all. But it was a lot of stuff that was going on. I think it was because I was young and young-minded that I didn't really see it for what it was, for the opportunity that it was, opportunity for the growth and what have you. At that time, it was just fun. We was just kicking it in there, and I was affiliated. I was a gang member, blood member, and so, and I was respected. So, I had a lot of situations in there that, if all else fails, I got me, and I'm a pop. You ain't gotta worry about nobody trying to do too much to me. But this was a big. It was a lot of things that took place, a lot of strange things, and I look forward to being able to tell y'all. So, you stick around, it's gonna get greater later, man. But again, I just wanted to introduce y'all to the page, and just look forward to some good stories telling, man. That's what I do. I got a lot of good stories to tell you. This particular bit was, it was. I don't want to use the word fun because it's nothing fun about being away from your family, but it was a wild ride. It was a journey. I guess that's like the best way to use it. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. I'll catch up with y'all. We start talking about some of the stories that happened in there, some of the characters, introduce you to some of the characters that you'll be familiar with, get to know some of the people on this second bit, and then go forward from there. Anyway, please remember to subscribe, like, comment, and I'm working hard on trying to get some merch up and running. But let's build a channel first, and then we go from there. All right, I'll let y'all. Peace. I said, are you for real? He said, yeah, you won't believe, bro. I'm heavy on the scale.